Chelsea has been nothing but drama this season. Off the pitch and on it, the Blues are in crisis mode, sitting in ninth at the time of recording. It's 2023. New year, new Chelsea. Considering our last realistic rebuild didn't really go down too well.
Oh my god, bro.
Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck, man? Get your ass on.
Let's try and redeem Sir BCHD's reputation here, kick Graham Potter out of the hot seat at Stamford Bridge, and start the season off in January. With our main goals of signing Chelsea's winter transfer targets for this season and the next. They've already been through 2 managers this season, and they're known for giving managers the boot with ease. This isn't going to be like a normal rebuild. As I said, we're starting at the midway point. We've arrived here exactly on January 1st, and here is how the table's standing. I tried to get it as realistically as possible, but the fixtures in career mode don't really align with the ones in real life. It doesn't really take into account that a whole damn World Cup has been played during this time. So again, thanks to EA in career mode, we haven't been able to fully realistically replicate exactly what's going on in real life, but we've tried as best as possible. We're still in the FA Cup, which is good, and we're also no longer in the Carabao, getting knocked out 3-0 to Manchester City in round 4, but Chelsea aren't even in it in real life anyway, so we're good on that front. And over in Europe, the Champions League, they finished top of their group just like real life with 13 points, and they've been matched up against RB Leipzig in the round of 16. Our primary focus being a realistic rebuild, we're going to try and build a brand new era, a new team around these January signings with a current budget of £164 million. That is more than enough to pursue some of Chelsea's top targets and secure our main priorities for January as we look to finish off the season strong. We want to bring Chelsea out of this slump they're currently experiencing in real life. This is the current starting 11. We still got that classic 5 at the back formation. We've just kept things pretty normal. We have changed up the tactics though. Sir BCHD wants them to play with pressure on heavy touch, fast build up, and direct passing in offense. Unfortunately, throughout our simulating, the board have sold a player, and that is Armando Broja, the Albanian striker, who was showing great potential. He departs to Bournemouth. The Cherries pick him up for £21.5 million. However, the rest of the squad have pretty much stayed intact, as we've been gifted with a mega war chest to go crazy with. This team is going to get even better. This being one of the first videos of the new year, just wanted to wish you guys a happy new year. Hopefully you had a happy holidays, celebrated hard, and just had some fun with family and friends, because I just appreciate all the support you guys showed towards the back end of 2022. Trust me, 2023 is going to be bigger and better for the channel. Just watch this space, but for now, let's get down to business. Now, the first signing we had to make official was David Fofana, the Ivorian striker from Moldova. Was confirmed quite a while back, and he will become a brand new Chelsea player at the start of 2023. He will be one of our cheapest signings to date, a little hidden gem in career mode. He trades Norwegian blue for London blue as he poses with Sir BCHD. The official transfer fee, only £2.5 million. Have Chelsea just unearthed the next Didier Drogba? The fans definitely hope so, as he'll pick up the brand new number 11 as well. It's written in the stars, he's going to continue Drogba's legacy. He's showing great potential, and I've no doubt Fofana looked up to Drogba as a kid, and now he gets to fulfill his dreams by actually playing in the kiddie war. With Aubameyang on the decline in his 30s, already with a -3 downgrade, Lukaku being Lukaku and missing chances like Darwin Núñez, it is now the prime time for Fofana to be Chelsea's main man going forward for the near future. Now, these next 2 pickups are heavily rumoured, pretty much on the verge of being confirmed. If they don't go through in January, it'd be an absolute failure for Graham Potter. It's about to be given the green light, and it's Chelsea's brand new defender, Benoit Badiashile. If you're a career mode player, you've known about this guy for a while. The French defender from Monaco. He's been a hidden gem wonder kid in career mode for a while now, and we agreed a fee between us and the French club for £25 million. He's just an absolute unit. He'll pick up the number 2, 6'4". He's a ball-playing defender. With Thiago Silva not getting any younger, in his late 30s, he's the perfect replacement and the heir to the throne. Could be a future leader for that back 5, and he's an exciting prospect as well. A crucial long-term investment for the Blues. I can't wait to see how he progresses. Now, this lad is arguably the pick of the bunch. Had a stellar World Cup, won the World Cup. The South American also won the young player of the tournament. You all know who he is, Enzo Fernandez, who is signed on a big money deal. Chelsea is splashing the big bucks on him. As the Argentine baller arrives at Stamford Bridge, he literally could have chosen any top club in Europe. Pretty much all the European contenders were interested in him. We've agreed a deal with Benfica for £57.3 million. The the ex-River Plate youngster. Enzo earns his major move to Europe, and he could pretty much be plugged into the squad straight away. At only 21, another exciting prospect. He's the perfect upgrade to either Kovacic or Jorginho. It really is a match made in heaven. Like, anywhere he would have chosen in Europe, he would have been a success, and the sky is the limit for this guy. The only thing letting me down about this lad is that he doesn't have a proper game face scan. Despite our quote-unquote realistic January acquisitions being completed, we've still got a few sales to make. This Chelsea team has got a lengthy roster, about 40 players plus, and our first to be released is the man who submitted a transfer request, Marcus Bettinelli, who'll be departing to Brentford for just over £1 million. I believe it's not going to be a major market in terms of departures for Chelsea, just a couple of key arrivals attempting to get their season back on track and where they belong and fighting for the top 4. Realistically, the title race is out of their hands right now, as those transactions have left us with a budget of £75 million. Here is how it looks with the brand new January signings implemented, like Fofana, Fernandes and Badiashile, all in the center, pretty much the brand new spine of the team. As we start to replace some of the aging veterans and the oldies on the decline, the future's looking bright here at the bridge. Also, we kind of have to save money for season 2, 2023 summer. We all know there's a big arrival on the way, so stay tuned for that. Simulating to the end of the current season, June 2023, we've gotten the Blues up into the top 4 pretty comfortably with 77 points. In comparison to real life, this league table is completely out of whack, with Manchester United winning the league with 90 points, Man City runners up, Spurs above us in 3rd by 1 point, and Arsenal, who are probably going to go ahead and win the whole thing, down in 5th. Liverpool kind of sliding below expectation, Wolves like completely overperforming, Newcastle down in mid-table 10th, and getting relegated is Southampton, Brentford, and Nottingham Forest, all going back down to the Championship. Everton just survived. When I say realistic, I didn't mean the rest of the league were going to follow through, as over in the FA Cup, it was Manchester City to take it home at 3-1 against Arsenal at Wembley. Pep Guardiola getting the better of his former assistant manager, as we were knocked out in round 5 at 2-1 to Leicester City. The Carabao, we already covered that we were knocked out pretty early on, and it was Man City again to win 5-4 on penalties after it was an 8-goal thriller against West Ham in probably the best cup final you ever see, as our Champions League run got cut short to none other than Pep's Man City. They went on to win the whole thing 2-1 against Real Madrid there, as we were eliminated 4-2 in what was an incredible matchup over in the Europa League. It was Tottenham to lose out to Porto 1-0 in the final. Chiellini roll the clip.
Tottenham is the history of the Tottenham.
As the Conference League sees Villarreal, the Yellow Submarine, to win out in a confident display 3-0 against Başakşehir. Now that we have all that covered, we're going to take a look at our top performers this season, who made a name for themselves in the second half of this campaign. Top goal scorer of the club was Kai Havertz. One German left in the summer, Werner departed. Young King Kai stepped up to the plate with 20 goals and 6 assists. It's a bit of a funny one. I don't really know what to do with him in the coming seasons. Convert him to a striker centre forward, or just keep him as he is. The 23-year-old with 20 goals and 6 assists in 51 appearances. Raheem Sterling in his first season at the club, entering his prime. Easily one of our most important players with 21 goal contributions, and the man who has literally got off the ground running, our £2.5 million Ivorian, David Datro Fofana, with 12 goals and 17 appearances. There's no better way to start with a scintillating first couple of months here at Chelsea. Hakim Ziyech also made a few cameos in off the bench with 9 goals and 8 assists for the Moroccan. Mason Mount, it's another strange case. Do we keep him as a cam or convert him to a right winger? Jorginho, who might be on his way out with 5 goals and 4. Enzo Fernandes, another one of our January realistic signings. 26 appearances, 5 goals and 8 assists for the young Argentine. The future's kind of also up in the air with N'Golo Kante, 5 goals and 4 assists for him, as Pulisic. Captain America got some super sub minutes, 5 goals and 4. Edouard Mendy with a substantial 14 clean sheets, as we take a look at our most valued asset. We've got so many world-class ballers at our disposal already, and Kai Havertz is edging towards that £100 million range. The youngster valued at 98 million on the dot. We have an abundance of loan players to welcome back in season 2. It is going to be an absolute madness. A lot of admin work is going to have to get done behind the scenes. Chelsea notoriously known for their player loan system, and we're going to have to bear the brunt of that pain come season 2. It's a trophyless season for the realistic Sir BCHD approach at Chelsea, but this campaign was all about getting the club back on track after a mediocre start to the campaign, finishing 4th and making the semi-finals of the Champions League. I think all Chelsea fans right now would take that, as we go in with our heads held high for season 2 with more realistic buys on the way. The only way is up, and good times are on the horizon. I know this is unrealistic, but it was kind of out of my control. Marc Cucurella submitted a transfer request, and the board have ended up selling him after we simulated the rest of the campaign, the Spaniard has now departed. After one season at the bridge, he's packed his bags, he's out of here. Sir BCHD sending him off to Milan. I think they just activated his release clause, £56.8 million as he departs to Italy. In terms of on-field success, it hasn't really been a rosy start for us. We're going to be rolling in dough nonetheless, as we've been gifted with £181 million. It's what transfer budget dreams are made of. And trust me, this starting 11 is about to receive some upgrades. We've also made a second team sheet, not just for a backup brigade, but just for a different style of play. If we want to shift to that tactically later down the line, the option is always there. We've already got our Kukurea replacement sorted, as we've got Ian Matson returning from his loan spell at Burnley, and also we're converting Malang Sarr to a fully fledged left back, even though he can already properly play it. Some more defensive cover on that left side would be nice. Now here's the deal I was alluding to earlier in the video. It was confirmed back in early December before the World Cup that Chelsea secured the deal to sign Christopher Nkunku, the French talent who has just exploded the past couple seasons at RB Leipzig. He's joined the Blues at the start of the 23/24 season, exactly where we are now for season 2, as he gives us a little wink at the camera. He picks up the number 9. I've had successes with him so far throughout FIFA 23. I'm not usually one to have favorite players in real life, but Christopher Nkunku's up there for me. I think he's a baller, and at £100 million, we're able to agree a deal with the Germans. But it's for a quality world-class addition that we could literally convert into any position. Left wing, right wing, striker. He can do it all in attack. He's not just a one-trick pony. As a 25-year-old is approaching his prime, he could just literally be a cheat code in career mode. That's how good he is. After that kind of introduction, he has to live up to the hype now. It's time now to cut down on the wage bill, to get some realistic exits happening. Sir BCHD will be letting go of a few players, and first on the chopping block is Ruben Loftus-Cheek. He's come from the Chelsea Academy, £16.4 million. He's been sold to Fiorentina. Being loaned out year after year and never given that chance, it's time to finally put his misery to an end. Here's another player export that just makes sense. We got to continue this Chelsea loan deal legacy, and it's what they would have wanted, as it's their English homegrown talent, Chuka Wenka. I struggle with that pronunciation so much. But Carney will be off to Belgium on a 2-year loan spell, joining Genk. Another player that's passed it, it's Bakayoko. After multiple loan spells to Serie A, will finally cut ties with the Frenchman as he joins the homeland. Stade Reims claim him for 5.6 mil. We're taking the Chelsea one-ticket loan system to heart, and I'm trying to replicate it here by sending out some of their talent on the fringes of the squad in the second team. From their youth academy, it's another player out, Amari Hutchinson, the Jamaican talent, will be joining Stade Brestois, another League One club, on a 2-year loan spell. Another lad that signed for Chelsea years ago. I feel like I hadn't heard of this guy's name for ages, as he returned from his loan spell at Reading. It is Baba Rahman, now joining Başakşehir over in Turkey for 1.3 mil. A minor sale, but it's one that had to be done. We've been able to get a couple of more loan deals and departures over the line right before the season starts, and it's actually a player with a academy face scan. Here you go. It's the homegrown Harvey Vale, off to Montpellier for 12 months, and for some reason all these French clubs are showing the most interest in our talents. This season's all about balancing the squad and really doing some of the admin work behind the scenes, negotiating on our outputs, and it's Tino and Jordan who return from a loan spell, and again, it's another one of these hidden gems off to France for a 2-year deal. You never know, when you loan out a bunch of players, they could come back a different beast. They could have potential upgrades. You never really know. Not gonna lie, this guy kind of looks like Syndrome from The Incredibles a little bit. The loan spell could really reignite their career, and it's realistic. Chelsea would be loaning these players out for fun. The next one is Lewis Hall, who actually has a game face scan, but no 2D profile picture. It's usually the other way around most of the time. We're trying to actually sell players for money, but the only deals that are going through right now are all these loan outputs, and another one, I think it's going to be the final on deadline day, Dylan Williams will be joining Genk for a 12-month deal. Believe the rumors you see on deadline day, because Romelu Lukaku has returned from Inter, and he won't be getting the fairy tale homecoming. Finally biting the bullet. I think he's going to depart in real life nonetheless. His form's been absolutely abysmal, dropping disaster classes for Belgium, and Lukaku won't be seeing the light of day here in the Premier League. Well, at least for us, as he's departing to Aston Villa. They actually met his release clause, activated it for £80 million, and in the last hour, it's the definition of a last-minute deal. Yeah, career mode, go home, you're drunk. FIFA 23, I swear, every single video, I find a brand new glitch. We also have been trying to sell Thiago Silva and Jorginho all summer, but the deals just haven't been able to make it. Their departure surely will be coming soon. However, here is our brand new starting 11 for season 2. Reece James now taking takes over that right back spot and gets awarded with the captain's armband. Meanwhile, thanks to our striker options, we're able to dispose of Lukaku, have Fofana as our main choice up front, play Havertz in that attacking midfielder advance role right next to Enzo Fernandez, who's currently on a red. Our midfield is stacked. Our defense is currently our weakest department right now, and Badiashile and Fofana are destined to grow and learn alongside the master Koulibaly. Things are now out of the window, completely separate to real life. We're in a brand new season, and it's a randomized Champions League group drawn into Group F alongside Atletico Madrid, PSV, and Shakhtar Donetsk, so we should be fighting tooth and nail with Atletico for top spot. You know our policy, unless any major emergencies happen, we won't be spending over 170 million pounds. We're going to be leaving that rest in the transfer budget. We might just save it all for season 3. Who knows what the future holds, but for now, we got to get past season 2 and try to form a title charge. We've reached the final day of the season, and it's all come down to this. We could potentially beat Manchester City at the Etihad and claim the title in their own backyard. That would be sensational, even though it is far removed from the question. We are the underdogs in this situation. I want to quick sim it just to see if we can rain on their parade and spoil the party. Here are the two starting teams. We have to claim a win here. Anything but the 3 points is going to be a failure. However, it's a 79th minute Jorginho winner to get the 2-1 victory, but was that enough to win the title? As we take a look, oh no, they've actually gone and done it. The boys, the absolute mad lads, have done it on the final day. So BCHD's realistic Chelsea snatched the title off City in what was a great heist, a great escape, and just as the cherry on top, take home a few player accolades as well. With 86 points, it came down to goal difference at the end of the day. Really, it was only a 2-horse title race. Liverpool and United way further down the pecking order in 3rd and 4th. Newcastle, West Ham and Wolves surprisingly overperforming, and Arsenal are down in 9th. Meanwhile, towards the bottom end of the table, it is Burnley, Sheffield United and Crystal Palace all going down to the 2nd tier. Over in the FA Cup, it was Arsenal to claim victory in a 1-0 win over Newcastle at Wembley. Meanwhile, our boys knocked out to the eventual finalists 3-2 in a 5-goal thriller in round 4. The Carabao Cup saw Bournemouth in a shock upset win against Arsenal, 2-1 win, and again we lose out on penalties in the semis. We knew it was going to be tough, but we came through runners-up in Group F. Qualifying out the group, Atletico claimed the top spot, and we were eventually matched up against Juventus, getting the better out of the Bianconeri, 3-2 in aggregate, and over in the quarters, I guess this is where Manchester City got their final laugh, eliminated us 3-1 on aggregate, but we snatched their title away from them, and they continued to cop L after L. Didn't recover from that final day league blunder, losing out 2-1 in the big dance to Dortmund as they claim the Holy Grail. Well, I guess we can all take a deep breath after quite an eventful season on and off the pitch, acquiring our first piece of silverware in one of the greatest final day wins you'll ever see. Now let's take a look at our top performers this season, and it was actually Raheem Sterling, a player I was considering selling or at least just relegating him to a second team option. And Raheem the Dream has gone on to score 25 goals and 3 assists, sharing the top goal scorer award with Fofana. Our literal Drogba reincarnation got himself 25 goals and 1 assist. I don't even think he knows what assists are. All he does is focus on scoring, and it's the £100 million man himself, Christopher Nkunku, the only player to get himself double figures in both goals and assists. It can do it all, I'm telling ya, as we converted him to a left wing. That's kind of what we did with Sterling, breathed new life into his career, just swapping him over to the right hand side, and it was a collective 36 goal contributions for the Frenchman, about to enter his prime at a 90 overall. And Jorginho's another one who's just had second win activated, the Italian stallion being favoured with the assistant manager, 15 goals and 8 assists from the middle of the park. Ben Chilwell on the left with 6 goals, as it's Reece James the captain leading by example, 5 goals and 8 assists for our right wing back. Meanwhile, Enzo Fernandez might have been shunned out by Jorginho, but I don't think that's going to last too long. And Kai Havertz continues to show his class, the German, with 5 goals and 15 assists. Mason Mount kind of taking a backseat this season, getting replaced by Sterling on the right. There was no room in for him at that cam spot because Kai Havertz just was in too good a form to drop. As Wesley Fofana is now establishing himself as a big stepper. In between the sticks, it is Edouard Mendy with 1 assist and 17 clean sheets. The Senegalese shot stopper, just aging like a fine wine. We have to say farewell to the likes of Cesar Azpilicueta, a loyal servant, a Chelsea legend, 34-year-old Aubameyang, and Thiago Silva, who is approaching 40. We've officially conquered England, phasing out the old guard, realistically introducing a new era at Chelsea. Now it's time for Stamford Bridge and the Chelsea fans to experience continental success. The Champions League is on our mind, of course. With Season 3 on the way, can Sir BCHD continue to find success and execute his magic here with the Chelsea boys? Let's find out. To kick off this next rodeo here at Chelsea, we had to do a bit of admin work behind the scenes, renew some contracts. I can't really predict what signings Chelsea are going to buy and be interested in the year 2024/25, but hey, we'll give it our best shot. We'll give it a try. We're getting this transfer market underway with a sale, and if you know, you know. Sniper out now on all digital platforms. It's not looking good, bruv. We've got Juan Castillo, the left back, will be departing the club. We've been trying to sell him for ages, for me just to make that joke. 820k, and he'll be joining the French side, Clermont Foot. We already made our intentions clear in January 2023 by picking up the World Cup winner Enzo Fernandez, and now we're going after his teammate. Yep, a fellow world champion. It is Ángel Molina, former Watford and Udinese star. We've now poached him from Atletico Madrid as just a backup right back. We have no cover in for Reece James, just in case our captain goes down injured or, you know, gets suspended. We need some backup in that spot, and Molina is the perfect option. But finances aren't really a thing we need to stress about here at Stamford Bridge. We had the money, I was eager to spend it, and the versatile 26-year-old about to approach his prime. In 2024, Molina, welcome to Sir BCHD's Chelsea. As the Gunners aren't the only club in London interested in the Ukrainian, it is also Chelsea on his tails, just in case the deal falls through with Arsenal in real life. I think it's free game. Modric, whatever his name is, I think he's allowed to join the dark side of London and put pen to paper here at Stamford Bridge. He becomes a blue as we've rescued the Ukrainian for £30 million on the dot. The deal has been signed, sealed, and delivered, and in contrast to Molina's purchase, he doesn't really facilitate a need in our team. He's just a luxury signing. The 23-year-old hasn't hit his potential yet, and is he going to do it here? I'm not quite sure, but he's joining the roster. He's just a purchase to flex our financial superpower and nothing more. It's all quiet on the Western Front when it comes to player acquisitions, but we're still working that departure center. We're still shipping a few players out the door, and that includes loans, minor sales, and this is Harvey Vale now departing for Freiburg off to Germany for 12 months. Other minor exports like Nathan Baxter, the English goalkeeper, who was like our fourth choice option. He'll be moving to Ghent for £3 million, and Dujon Sterling, who'll be departing to Bournemouth. The Cherries buying him for £3.5 million, and now we've got Molina to upgrade that spot. Player loans, it's literally in the Chelsea DNA. They have used this strategy for what feels like decades now, and some more youth talent will be headed out the door. The likes of Charlie Webster with those luscious locks, he'll be off to America, Atlanta United, on a 12-month loan spell. Now, I don't know what the chances are of these Chelsea Youth Academy youngsters of eventually breaking into the first team, but based on past history and their loan system in general, the chances seem extremely slim. I hope it's the opposite for Dylan Williams as we send him out on a 2-year loan spell to Scotland. He joins Rangers. We've got some last-minute deadline day offers to deal with, and I can't really be bothered with some late-minute summer drama, so we're just gonna leave it there. That's our best attempt at a realistic transfer window 3 seasons deep. Could this be the year though, depending on what formation we use? Might have to play around tactically, but that has left us with a transfer budget of £76 million, so not really big boy money to spend. Here is how the main team is looking, with Fofana leading the line, still yet to crack into the 80s, but he's proven that no matter what rating he is, he can find the back of the net. Nkunku and Sterling now rejuvenated at a right wing position. We've got Havertz and Enzo both rocking the midfield, and with Koulibaly leading the likes of Badiashile and Fofana at the back to even more growth, this could easily become a Champions League winning squad. Just look at the options we have on the bench too, and the rest are pretty much just for emergency use only. That's the team that will be facing the likes of Inter, Villarreal and Hoffenheim in Group A, an extremely tricky group. Could provide us with some trouble as we try to finish top of the group and in aim of going as far as possible in the Champions League. Can the 2024 Premier League champions go one step further and achieve glory on the continental stage? Let's get into it. Well, our champions have been dethroned. Chelsea couldn't go back to back and get that second Premier League title as Liverpool take it home on the final day. It went down between them and Manchester United as our boys came through in third with 83 points, finishing well above the likes of Man City, Spurs and Arsenal. It was a valiant effort and it was a decent title push nonetheless, got themselves that Champions League qualification. Meanwhile, at the opposite end of the spectrum, it is Southampton, Fulham and West Brom all getting relegated. Over in the FA Community Shield, they completely tore Arsenal to shreds, 5-0 at Wembley, claiming their first piece of silverware for this season. In the FA Cup, a little bit of a different story as Liverpool took it out 2-0 against Leicester, as we were eliminated in round 6 to the eventual champions 5-4 on penalties. And another domestic cup competition, it's the Carabao this time. We are literally picking up the Mickey Mouse double. It's a domestic double nonetheless. It's silverware at the end of the day with a 2-1 win against Man City at Wembley. A cute little trophy to add to the collection, but we're moving on to bigger and better things. The Champions League now is where we're applying the pressure, and in Group A, we finished equal on top with Inter, but thanks to goal difference, we came through over in the round of 16, coming back to win against RB Leipzig 3-2 on aggregate in the home leg, progressing through to the quarterfinals and sealing our fate against Manchester City, getting revenge on them, the citizens who have just been haunting us this entire rebuild, in a demolition job 6-3 on aggregate against Pep. And over in the semi-finals, it was a famous matchup. Maybe David Fofana had his Torres moment and sent us into a Champions League final at the Camp Nou, taking care of business and winning against Barca 3-1, and that has set up a 2012 rematch. We are reliving history here 13 years later in 2025, and the Bavarians are out for revenge after Chelsea snatched the Holy Grail from them in their own backyard. It's a grudge match, it's a famous head-to-head battle with a completely new crop of players for both teams. It's now time to see exactly how we got there and who our top performers were. In terms of goals, it was David Datro Fofana. Forget Didier Drogba. There's a new Ivorian king in town, and the man with the mustache is a cold-blooded killer. We threw him to the Wolves, and man came out swinging. I had this much faith in him. We didn't need to buy a brand new striker or a backup. The 22-year-old with 48 goals and 4 assists. Finding the back of the net is literally hardwired into this man's DNA. Now got himself a +6, standing at 84 overall. Chelsea's new number 11 icon, absolutely tearing it up. As Raheem Sterling's position conversion got him into some excellent form with 28 goals and 8 assists on the right-hand side. We had King Kai Havertz, double figures in both goals and assists. Him and Enzo Fernandez, the only two to achieve that. As Christopher Nkunku officially throws the Chelsea number 9 curse out the window, and the Frenchman in 57 appearances with 28 goal contributions. Our attack has really carried us, but the midfield have done their job as well. Enzo with 10 goals and 30 goal contributions in 61 appearances in all competitions. He has been a South American warrior. Reece James, we watered in the captain's armband. The Blues' youth academy product with 6 goals and 7. Christian Pulisic was always there, a viable option in off the bench, just like Mason Mount. Wesley Fofana and Benoit Badiashile, the other two Frenchmen in our backline, who have just grown exponentially. The likes of Jorginho and Kalidou Koulibaly, the old aging veterans, still alive and kicking. Another real-life youth academy option for Chelsea, Trevor Chalobah, starting to become an option in at centre-back. In typical Chelsea fashion, we still had an abundance of players out on their loan spells, still keeping some OG pieces to the roster like Kovacic, Ziyech. New boy Molina got himself a handful of appearances. Sarr officially converted into a left-back. We did apply some magic all over, as Edouard Mendy has come through, the Senegalese shot stopper, with 20 clean sheets. Insane stuff for our 91 rated African. You can start to see now, with over 6 players in that 90+ range, you know you're hitting some uncharted territory and you deserve some big time success. So BCHD's got the best out of Chelsea in the most realistic way possible, and Kai Havertz has been the highest valued asset throughout this whole entire rebuild. Despite our 2 pieces of domestic silverware and our Champions League final appearance, the board aren't too happy with us. But let's prove them wrong here on the biggest of stages. It's our starting 11 you've all come to know and love. Everyone's fit, injury free and ready and roaring to go. We're up against a Bayern Munich hoping to send off Neuer with a Champions League title. De Ligt and Christensen, the 2 centre-back pairings. We've got Kimmich, the captain, starting on the right. Zielinski, Osimhen and Kingsley Coman spearheading the attack. It's a very dangerous team. Grab your popcorn, get comfy, because things are about to go down. We're out here on home turf. I mean, technically it's enemy territory, West Ham. However, it's still London. We get the opportunity to paint London blue and get the ribbons on that trophy to beat Chelsea blue and white. On a cold, rainy night in London, these lot don't want it. We're out here battling our way through the dreary England-London weather, and our boy David Datro Fofana will get us kicked off. Bringing out all the flicks and tricks tonight. He's got the skills to pay the bills. as Chilwell finds Nkunku again. All of a sudden, it's Fernandes with the flare shot, and I thought that one was going to nestle into the top left-hand corner. Manuel Neuer had to watch that one pass him. Here on over, it is Zielinski who cuts it back to find Pasalic, and our boy in between the sticks to parry it out for a corner. The Germans still have possession. It's Pasalic. We try and take them down. Kimmich with a tame attempt on goal by Havertz. Nice little La Croqueta. It's Enzo Fernandez. Fofana finds a brilliant ball inside to Sterling. He's going to cut it back. And Neuer, who had it deflected and into the box, back into the danger zone. It's our Ivorian king who's got ice running through his veins to tap it home. He was the quickest to react. The fox in the box. And he gets his 49th goal of the season. He wants his half century tonight. The deflection fallen straight to him after Kai Havertz's attempt. And it's rolled right into the bottom right hand corner. In the 18th minute, David Datro Fofana breaks the deadlock and get his 10th goal of the Champions League competition. Back on over to Nkunku. We can start to dictate the play now, and our Frenchman finds Havertz in an area. He cuts it back, and now Nkunku with a shot of his own, and Neuer has to swat that one away. He's winding back the clock with that save. Now finds Havertz, and look at all this space opening up for us. It's our number 18. It's our number 11 who readied up a shot and just fired it straight down Neuer's throat. That sentence sounds extremely sus as we try it. Find a good delivery from Havertz. It's Fofana again, and it's gone over the line. Christensen puts it in. Is it going to go down as an own goal? I don't know, but it looks like Fofana's breakdance skills are as good as his goal scoring, because that's his 50th goal of the season. He's hit the half century. It's a bloody cricket score, and he can do it all from the set piece. It's the most chaotic goal you ever see. Off the post, off Neuer, bouncing on the line. Christensen's attempt. My goodness me, he's probably got insane upper body strength to be pulling off these Champions League final celebrations like that. Here they are with Kimmich as he cuts it back. Option on the inside. It's Zielinski who thought about the shot. The pole now offloads. And again, they're passing it around like prime Barcelona, but we finally catch them out in the offside trap. Osimhen can't believe it. The Germans going to half the deficit leading into half-time. If we can go in 2-0 to the good, that would be amazing. But our defense giving us a hard time about it. Pasalic fighting on the inside with added time. It's Kimmich with the attempt. No, Zielinski. Mendy, no, it's Zielinski to take the prize off him. And from the set piece, couldn't find the back of the net. Fofana to win the header. Now's it down to Sterling, and now ball over the top. Could find him again. It's Fofana, and Manuel Neuer single-handedly keeping the Germans in this game. As Nkunku delivers in, and oh my goodness me, don't tell me it's that man Fofana again. The breakdancing skills are out again. David Datro Fofana. This is a sign. You guys just have to sign him in career mode, no matter what club you are. He's a career mode cheat code. In-game simulating this Ivorian man just is hungry for goals at all times. Kimmich on the line, two goalkeepers wouldn't have saved that. It's a perfectly guided header into the back of the net. You couldn't get more upper echelons than that. And the final touch of the second 45. We are 3 goals to the good. I would say it's mission done, but we all know what happened in 2005. We can't get ahead of ourselves here. Off to the perfect start on a cold, rainy night in London, but the job isn't done. Bayern are going to come back swinging. We've got one Fofana who just scores goals for fun. One Fofana who stops goals for fun. And all we need now is a midfield Fofana to complete the trio. Bayern now. Pasalic finds the ball in the middle now, Kimmich, and it's the option there for Osimhen. 50th minute, Bayern wasted no time. They've got themselves a goal back. They should be picking the ball out of the net, but the Nigerian prince wants to celebrate. His teammates are telling him to get up. There's still 2 goals to get. Is it going to be a consolation or a way back in for the Bavarians? Here we go. Bayern Munich are telling us it's game on. Over to Fofana, who does a few step overs, offloads to Sterling, and it's Reece James with this buccaneering run. Can he find the man on the middle? And he was in for his 4th Fofana. Hit away by De Ligt, and it looks like our corner tactic has been prevailing. Just aim it at Fofana and we'll get something on it. Lunges in for a tackle there. Badiashile, who hasn't stopped running all night. I'm sure his missus is very happy with his stamina on and off the pitch. Now Sterling cuts back and he gives it off to Reece James. Back on the inside. It's Fofana with the bicycle kick. Just when you thought this man had done it all. Sterling and Reece James connecting again. Fofana, who's just been on fire tonight, trying to find his 4th, trying to assist one, and it's offside nonetheless. Unable to attack. They're shell-shocked at the moment, and Havertz Havertz now, ball over the top. Fofana could find his fourth. Fofana! How was he air swing that? Matthias de Ligt with a heroic defending. It's Badiashile to deal with the danger. Havertz was away there, but it's not gonna matter. It was a 3-1 demolition job. I got no idea why the Bayern fans are celebrating. It's a Chelsea night. London is blue. Europe is blue. And the Blues get their realistic final swan song with a David Datro Fofana hat-trick Champions League final. Call him the African Mbappe because he scores hat-tricks in cup finals for fun. And Sir BCHD finally guides this club to the third piece of European glory. Unfortunately for Bayern, couldn't get revenge for 2012. Fortunately enough for Chelsea, their realistic signings do the job. Enzo Fernandez, Fofana, Badiashile. I'm sure they're going to be absolute weapons for the club in real life. Smart buys, big transfers, and that's what this team is all about. It was a bit of an out of left field, off-kilter type of rebuild, but hopefully you guys did enjoy this one. Was I a little bit more realistic? Did I do it better than the Arsenal rebuild challenge? Let me know down in the comments below, and what other videos you'd like to see on the channel as we enter the new year. 2023 is here, baby, and it's gonna be big. I appreciate all the love and support you guys have shown. It's been absolutely immense. Whilst you're at it, make sure to drop the video a like if you haven't, subscribe if you're new around here, turn on the notifications, follow me on all my socials. The links will be down in the description box below. But as you know, as always, I've been Sir BCHD. Have a great day, and I'll catch you all in the very next video.
Yeah, I've been trying, but to work through the same. Every day, this shit feel the same. I've been trying to work through this pain. Every day, it won't go away. I've been trying. So tell me, who do I call? Now you gone, you let me hear. I got my back on the wall. I've been trying. So tell me, who do I call? Now you gone, you let me hear. Now I'm losing control, but I'm trying, and I'm fine. That's what I keep on telling myself every night. And I got all these problems, I can never justify them. And I know I need help, but I don't never take the time. And I keep this shit low. I keep it in silent. They tell me it's gonna do me harm if I keep it inside, man. I will never know, about how they found me. Overthinking all the time, my mind always crowded. Oh well, I gotta keep it moving, or I'll go crazy. I might just lose it. Crazy and lose my